this table where we laughed and talked all day. So long ago, love was offered. The joy of being together made you want to stay. Take me back.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Life with Nana. I'm Nana, and I'm so glad you're here today. Today, we're going to be making garlic Alfredo sauce. I'll probably add some chicken to it, and we're going to be making some homemade noodles. So, this is so simple. We're going to get this put in our crock pot so that the sauce portion of this can be cooking away while we're doing other things, while we're making noodles. Get me a whisk. Now my recipe calls for 2 cups. This is a 4-cup measuring cup. And it calls for 2 cups of broth. And I really do like, because usually Alfredo sauce and that kind of sauce are a little finicky. So I'm anxious to see if this will do well. 2 cups of heavy cream. I'm going to get that poured in there. 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. I have that right here. Make sure that says so tablespoons. It does. And a 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. I'll get a 1/2 cup measurer. And we want to get this stirred together. And 1 stick of butter. Now, I do use butter. I don't use margarine. So I don't know how this would turn out if you were using something like margarine. And 2 cups of Parmesan cheese. Right. Let me put this stuff away. And I'm going to give this a good stir. And we're going to put this in the crock pot and turn it on. I'm going to turn it on low to let this come up. And it says it'll take 4 to 6 hours. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on low and keep a watch on it. And then I may go ahead and turn it up on high. Matter of fact, I think I will turn it up on high and get it really hot, and then we can turn it down. So we're going to make some homemade noodles. And noodles are very easy to make. So the first thing we're going to need is 2 eggs, and we're going to need 2 tablespoons of milk, 3/4 tablespoons of salt, teaspoons of salt, sorry, and 1.5 cups to 2 cups of flour. All right. Now it says 1.5 to 2 cups of flour. So let's go with 1.5, and we'll have some that we'll probably need to put on the counter to roll these out. Let me put the lid on this. And 2 teaspoons. 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. So here's 1/4. Here's a half. Oops, got the wrong one. Here's a half. And you want to make sure you put the salt in things, because there's nothing worse than bread with no salt or noodles with no salt. So, I'm going to stir this together so this is well combined. And before I move ahead on this, I'm going to go ahead and get some water boiling on my stove. So we got that going back there, and we'll be ready for that here in a minute. So what we're going to do is I've kind of made a little well in my bowl here, and I'm going to put my eggs in here. Now normally it would be better if your eggs were room temperature, but if I ever get that farm and I have fresh eggs that have never been washed, then we'll be getting some eggs sitting on our counter. That would be so good. And now it says to take 2 tablespoons of milk. Put that in. Make sure there's nothing wet on my counter, because I'm going to roll these out on my counter. I think it's going to need a little bit more milk. I'm going to put another tablespoon. I hope y'all are having a good day today. I know I am. All right. Get a little more flour. And I'm just kind of folding it over and over to give it some time to work its magic. This little rolling pin, and I don't know if you can see it, but it has these little, I don't know, gouges or whatever you want to call it. And we're going to try using that. I don't know. I just bought it not too long ago at a garage sale, so we'll see. And you want noodles to be very thin. Let me get my bench scraper. Now I could have gotten out my attachment for my KitchenAid mixer, but I really didn't want to. I didn't really want to go to all of that. I'm just making enough for us to have for today. And if I were going to be making a lot, then I would definitely get that out. And that is a project that I want to do. I want to get out enough to make enough to dry and put away. But that is not a project for today. I've got several containers that need to be refilled. My sugar and my flour. All right, I'm gonna fill up my container again because I think I'm gonna have to make another one of these, and my sugar, and I'll bring you back when I get finished doing that. Okay, so we're gonna see how our little dough roller thing here works, and we're making something similar to egg noodles. I did go ahead while I was away and mix up one more batch of these. I wasn't sure how far these would go. Although I do think that this probably would have been enough. But it's been a long time since I made noodles or made pasta. There's something relaxing about doing this by hand. Now, like I said, if I were going to make a lot to put up for the winter, I would definitely be bringing out the big guns. But for this is very, very relaxing for me. I could have cut these thinner, but we're just going with it today. All right. Our Alfredo sauce is coming together nicely. I am going to add some chicken. I'm going to drain all the juice off. And I'm just going to crumble it up with my hands. Give this a stir. All right, I'm going to let the water come back up to a boil. And while we're waiting on that, because we're going to boil the noodles, they won't take but just about 2 minutes, maybe 3. And I had a pack of dark cherries in the freezer. And I've just put about maybe 4 or 5 tablespoons of butter. In this, I have a cup of milk, a cup of self-rising flour, and a cup of sugar. Now, because these are tart, I'm going to sprinkle just some sugar over the top of them. Not much, just a little. And then we're going to pour this over the top of this, and we're going to make a cherry cobbler. And that will be delicious. All right. I'm going to make sure these are separated and not just masses of dough here. We'll put them in here, and when they come to the top, they should be done. I'm going to keep them stirred. I probably should have put just a little more flour on these. Maybe let them set just a little longer. Because some of them are kind of sticking together. That's okay with me. I'm more about how things taste than they look. I want them to look nice, of course, but I really want things to taste good. And this is one of Papa's favorite meals, so I really want it to be good. These get completely done. We'll mix them with our Alfredo sauce. And they will be delicious. I'm just keeping them moved around. They're coming apart beautifully. I think they're going to be gorgeous. And taste good. Now I'm going to give my Alfredo sauce and chicken a little bit of a stir. Look how wonderful that looks. And I'm going to start taking these out and letting them drain. Want to let all that water drain off if we can. Let's see. You know, I think I'm just going to add them in because there wasn't many left. And we will stir these around. I'm going to turn this down to keep warm. And we're just waiting on our biscuits. And it's just as easy as that. Isn't that a wonderful dish? I love that. Now I'm going to get just a few and taste them for you and see what I think. We really need Papa in here because he is the noodle expert. Now you can certainly use store-bought noodles for this, egg noodles or something like that. But there's something about making your own and it tastes so good. Well, oh my goodness. That is so, so good. I can't wait for you to try this. Well, all right, we're going to see how this cobbler turned out. It looks fantastic. I have to have just a little bit of Cool Whip on mine. I just took it out of the oven. Oh my goodness, y'all. That is so simple and so, so good. But I want you to know, Nana loves you. Nana's so, so proud of you. And you always have a friend here. I love you.